So Bungie showed off its newest game, Marathon, and it is going to be an extraction shooter. Think Escape from Tarkov, games like that. Not necessarily something I'm really into because I don't like the idea of getting killed and losing everything. But I guess that's part of the allure of these types of games. I've been a huge fan of Bungie ever since the beginning with Halo. Even though basically nobody who worked on that game even works with on Bungie on their team anymore, and they've changed hands multiple times, like uh, being in Microsoft, no, being an independent, then Microsoft, then independent, then Activision, then independent, then Sony. So they've been passed around to all these different companies, and they have a lot of not so great stuff going on with their company. It's just a lot of over promising, under delivering, wasting money, just bad stuff that just went down with Destiny 2. You can read about all that. There's just so much of it. But a lot of people complained. Me was one of those people because I played Destiny 2 for a long time, stopped, then played a lot again, just all the way up to the final battle with the darkness. I felt like I got to finish this. I got to finish the fight. I got to finish the story that I started way back in Destiny 1. So like I felt like it was personal to me, even though regardless of all the crazy stuff that they do. So I was one of those people that are like, oh, they're pouring all this stuff into this marathon game, and Destiny 2 feels like it's being left behind. And it kind of did. They trickled content, they gatekeeped content, the constant buffs and nerfs and game modes, and Gambit being awful and not fun, and Trials was always falling apart. There was just so much stuff going on with Destiny 2, and I'm glad I finished it. I'm glad I defeated the darkness, killed the witness, did all that fun stuff. But I felt like the story's over in Destiny 2. Even though there was like other stuff happening afterwards, I just stopped caring. My investment into Destiny 2 was complete, and I felt like I could break away from it and not feel bad. And so now they still got Destiny 2 going on, so I don't know how long they're going to keep that going while doing Marathon, because they fumbled the ball when doing just one game. And now they're doing two games. And I guess there's like a mobile Destiny game where it's like more like a hero shooter. Did that get canceled? I don't even know. We're talking about Marathon. Marathon is a classic Bungie game, like old school. We're talking Macintosh game here. First person shooter, very of its time. If you go back and play the original Marathon games, you're gonna want to kill yourself. You can't reload your guns, like manually reload. You have to like shoot all your bullets to reload. Some things have gotten better over time, so being able to reload is one of those things. But the thing about Bungie from the very beginning, it's been a very lore heavy company where you can play the games and enjoy them, but if you wanted to deep dive into some lore, oh my goodness, can you deep dive into hours and hours and hours of lore? And it all started, I mean, it goes all the way back to freaking Pathways into Darkness, which was another like dungeon crawling first person shooter. And there's connections between that game, Marathon, then Halo, and Destiny, where there's like these weird connections. Where in Destiny, everyone remembers the Mida multi tool and the Mida mini tool. That Mida was the group of the terrorist separatist Mars Alliance people. So like if that gun's in Destiny, then obviously there's some connection there to Marathon, and then even in the flavor text there's stuff. So is it an Easter egg? Is there a real connection? Is it like a nod to a previous game? Bungie does this all the time, and I love that kind of stuff. There is a guy, I believe his name is Mandalore Gaming, or just Mandalore. He did some reviews of the Marathon games. Even though they're not deep lore videos, they're still super long videos, and he does talk a lot about the lore, and it is absolutely insane because it basically, without going deep into it, the progression of the Marathon games, you just end up becoming like a god that can create your own realities, and that kind of plays into the whole Forge mode where you can make your own maps and stuff. So like you become this omnipresent thing that can just keep fighting because that's what you do, is this reincarnated hero, and it's so insanely deep. Go watch those videos. He's a great guy, great narrator, and it will drive you bazonkers with there's time travel, multiple, versions of timelines, characters. It's just nuts. So when I heard about them doing a new Marathon, I'm like, okay, I want to see what they do with all this lore, because when the game looks like, and I say Marathon looks like trash, but it's old. It's older. Like, what can they do with that deep narrative of like this multiple timelines? There's Earth separatists. They're living on other planets. There's what happened to the Four, this other alien race, very much like the Covenant. What's the battle roids? There's these rampant AIs and all this other Durandal and all these like characters. They do nothing with it. They just make it a multiplayer only extraction shooter that may or may not have anything to do with Marathon. And that kind of turns me off, that there's no story component. There's no single player. Like, it's just weird to me that a game that has such deep lore is going to be told through like multiplayer stuff. And how much of that can you really get, you're looking at the screenshots. It has a very particular look to it, very futuristic looking, kind of postmodern pop sci-fi, like the helmets and the way everything kind of looks. The original Marathon games look nothing like this. So I thought maybe they would have adopted that original style and kind of, brought it to the future. No, they just made it kind of really weird. It's like a character that just looks like what you think a Japanese kabuki theater mask type game, like that. None of that was ever in Marathon. So this weird look to it, I don't know. It's unique, I guess, but it's so different that it just doesn't draw me into these characters. Like, I don't feel, since it's going to be like not necessarily like a hero shooter, but you pick your character and their character is the class. Like, you can't like, oh, I want to look like this guy, but also be the stealth person. No, you have to pick the stealth character. I don't feel the connections here because everyone looks so odd and weird. I'm sure there's going to be, cosmetics and DLC and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like, they really focus a lot of this one girl who has like the whole kabuki Japanese, pop idol look to her. I don't know why, but she's like the stealth character. I don't know if I feel a connection. Maybe not right now. Definitely not right now. There's the gameplay reveal. They did some actual gameplay. And then there was this short story, like short film. And I give it to Bungie. They do amazing like short films, like based off their stuff. None of that ever makes it into the games. Like, there's not one game, even back in Halo, when they did that whole, Covenant War memorial thing where they had like actors come in, like they're veterans of the war, and they talk about Master Chief. Perfection. Those trailer short film things are absolutely cinema verite. They are amazing. And they do something like that with this Marathon game where there's a lot of mystery and you're like, my God, I want to know more about this. And I know for a fact we're never going to get it in the game because Bungie can't translate that cool story into gameplay. They just can't do it. So in this trailer, they see this one character. She's the one I was talking about, the one that's the weird makeup and stuff, where it looks like she's living multiple lives. And I don't know if it's the same character wearing different clothes and armor, or they're clones, or these are separate timelines, or these are the same events happening on a multiverse. There's so much crazy stuff going on in Marathon. But you see something come to this planet. They're out in Tal City 4, like way the hell out there. And some kind of event happens when time and space gets all like distorted and weird. And why are they looting these things? Why are they fighting? Are they fighting for corporations? But if they're just being killed and rebuilt and killed and rebuilt, are they stuck in some kind of wacky time loop? We don't know. This little short film is really cool because it just shows how these soldiers, which I'm pretty sure they're just being cloned up, and they're like giving these like mission briefs where they're like, oh, who's this person? What's this? Do you recognize this kid? And they're like, oh, that's you. And like, oh, wow, really? And they're just like forgetting things because I guess with every clone, with every iteration, maybe they forget more and they're just acclimated to just fighting and combat. So like their very essence, what made them like human, or if they ever were human, they just lose that over time, but then they die. And then you just see them come back again and they have no like prior knowledge or memory of what happened before. Very cool stuff. Very deep, very like existential crisis stuff, because at the end of the thing, they pull out and show like a room, like a building with 1,000,000 rooms in it. So I'm guessing they're just training up all these clones to go out there and loot this planet. But why are they doing that? Like you almost, like you see this big thing in the sky and it almost looks like it has like a sponsorship on it. So is this like a weird sport that rich people watch and they just want to see this happening? Or are they stealing technology to try to break a time loop or transverse the fourth dimension? Like it's just crazy. Like what could possibly be happening? Super interesting, super amazing, and it's never, ever, ever going to be in the game. They're never going to explain it. You're going to have to listen to lore videos and people going outside of the game to explain it to you, and it will never be explained in game. That's one thing I hated about Destiny 2 more than anything, that the lore video people did an amazing job telling the story that the game refused to tell. And I hope Marathon doesn't do that, but it's Bungie, and that's all they know how to do. Amazing, cool storylines that can't transfer to the actual game. But, you know, lore aside, history aside, that kind of stuff that I love, that's the core gameplay. Just running around shooting people. I guess it's going to be 15 player, teams of 3, up to 15 human players. And of course, there'll be some like AI bots and stuff running around. And you just loot stuff, and then I guess you call for extraction and get out of there. I don't know how many game modes there's going to be, but it feels like there's only, I think I read there's only 3 maps and 6 heroes. And this is a paid game. This feels like Concord. It feels like Concord all over again. I hope it's not Concord. Because if this was free to play, I'll put up with some stuff. Like I play The Last Descendant, but I don't pay any money for that. I just play it for fun, and it didn't cost me nothing. If this costs me money, I'm going to need some stuff, you know? Like some concrete gameplay. And if you're telling me 3 maps and I paid money, and you know they're going to drop a season pass, you know they're going to drop cosmetic things, and you know they're going to, you know, so what the heck? Oh my goodness. And from what I've seen, the gameplay doesn't look all that great. I just got a feeling I'm going to get sniped from across the map every single freaking round because everyone's a damn snipe master. So I don't know. I got to see more. Maybe this is the kind of game, if it survives, that you get during the 1-year anniversary where they have a ton of new content, and that $40, I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I'm assuming hopefully it's not premium priced, but like $40 game price makes a lot more sense than jumping in day one and just running around the same couple of maps. I don't know. I'm interested in the storyline, but I really feel like I can just watch people's YouTube videos and get that cool story and not have to worry about playing the game.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.